without further ado.
Our first game, Willz versus Vulcan.
Also, let me make sure the volume is good.
Midlands Smashdown for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then we're getting into Town and City for our first game.
So, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Alright, I think the volume is better now. Perfect. Alright, we're good to go. For real this
Let's
time.
get underway. Our first game, Willz versus Vulcan. Our first game of the Midlands Smashdown for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then we're getting into Town and City for our first game.
I wonder if this matchup is still going to be relatively similar in nature to how it was in Ultimate. It's worth noting that Cloud's range across the board has been significantly nerfed. His hitboxes are more like Marth's, or maybe a little smaller now. Also, thank you Zachary SSB for resubscribing with Amazon Prime for 8 months to the one and only Bunny Legion. Sub hype. Glad to have you back, baby. And right now, just going to go over this. It looks like I think his cross-slash frame data is about the same as it was before.
Be happening. Using that retreating there just to keep him back, goes to the down throw, but no follow-up.
His down throw looks kind of like how it was in Ultimate, or not Ultimate, but Smash 4, where it doesn't necessarily true combo into things, but it sets up 50-50s and frame traps. So that seems kind of simple. A lot of his frame data seems notably shifted for the worse, along with his range, but at the same time, the mechanics seem like they could do a lot of good for Cloud, so it's hard to tell.
One of the biggest changes to Cloud is that if you don't use
Wait, does the downer still auto cancel? It looks like it still does if you space it properly. Auto cancel down air would still be quite a nice little thing in his arsenal, but
would manage to get the grab up throw. Oh!
Into the forward air, very, very nice. No, couldn't connect into the up air again.
There we go, we've got a smash ball out there.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen, because in the past I've seen players playing the kind of, you know, the
it's also worth noting that perhaps Willz didn't want to go for more aggressive ledge trapping like you might if you were playing Smash 4. They've actually made ledge trapping across the board more difficult because of one very simple change that by itself does quite a lot to change it. That would be, I believe they added an extra, or they shaved about 5 to 6 frames off of every character's roll on stage from the ledge. Every single character's. And that's actually a pretty big difference frame-wise. So I imagine they're trying to remove not necessarily remove ledge trapping, but make it to where it's not an end-all, be-all alternative to edge guarding. And in the absence of it, encourage more edge guarding with weakened magnet hands, among a lot of other things. Yeah, that stinks, Sour Oddity. But hey, it's all good. You can learn from that. Still good stuff coming down the road, and you'll get to play it eventually anyway. It's also worth noting that Ding Dong seems basically not necessarily gone, but it's specifically been relegated to something for racking up damage rather than, you know, a kill confirm or what have you. But in its absence, they seem to have specifically buffed a lot of DK's running options, and not just running options, but just ways of just killing people earlier in general. If you'll notice later on in this video, there's actually a part where DK wind-up punch that isn't even remotely wound up ends up getting a KO. So this, combined with his running options being better, means that he's going to have to fish for kills significantly more honestly, but that seems to be a recurring trend in design philosophy of this game as a whole, which I'm liking a lot.
Super defensive, but managing to get like a lot of the grabs on Willz.
Yeah. Forward smash, that will connect.
2 stocks to 2.
Speaking of safe,
just a quick
fishing for kills, that's definitely not, but you know, if you get the read, you get the read.
Tech, it's fun. Okay, so yeah, it's quite even right now. As you said, you know, you were saying getting those grabs.
Also, Did that nair like basically have no ending lag when he landed with
yeah,
it?
It's quite even right now. As you said, you know, you're saying getting those grabs and kind of connecting very, very nicely. It seems like Willz is kind of a few of the things. Tech is fun. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that right there, like.
For the next round, do not worry. Tech is fun.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I wonder if that's going to specifically change a lot of DK's future pressure game. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of DKs going forward, once the metagame ends up developing, they start specifically trying to scare people into going into the air using their large invincible tilts. At least I'm assuming they're intangible like they were in Smash 4. And from there, they'd be able to do things like full hop, falling nair. And if they space it well, they can make the opponent feel like they're not going to do anything, and then you can just do run and grab, and you might also be able to mix it up with falling nair and to just grab anyway. I'm not sure how that is on shield. If I had to guess, the weak hitbox is probably decently negative on shield, but if you land with the strong hitbox and it still auto-cancels or has very low ending lag, there might be some jab into grab 50-50s and mix-ups that are possible. It's hard to say at this stage, but it's worth noting regardless. Also, hey Mr. Robot Pirate, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day so far. Going to look at more footage.
But yeah, it's quite even right now. As you said, you know, you're saying getting those grabs.
Alright, that's... I mean, I've already seen this, but that is a really, really big deal right there.
Even right now, as you said, you know, you're
Look at this. Alright, he's being hit. He's being hit. And then he just, look. He goes from his little hit animation, reset animation, about 1 frame in. There we go. Alright, so apparently DK can... His side B now has super armor. Well, not... Wait, is he still being hit? Okay. Yeah, he has super armor on it, so... A lot of multi-hit things like that. DK, especially if SDI is in the game and or brought back, and you have good SDI, a lot of DKs might be able to reliably combo break using super armor side B with proper SDI and then get further setups like that. He's just body blowing through it. That is huge for DK. Like, that kind of tool is solid in general. Nothing super crazy for the most part, but DK simply having access to this or something like this when he's historically been a character that just gets absolutely bodied and disadvantaged and has virtually nothing he can do. Him simply having an option like this will do wonders for his landing game. This is especially true when you also factor in the fact that his new, or not his new down B, but his down B with the slaps has been reworked to where you can actually B reverse it now, and I think it auto cancels on landing or has very low landing lag. This is something this is something I learned about for the first time talking with Larry Lur in one of our at a tournament a while ago, and there's also footage of it being used similarly in one of these other matches. I can't remember which one. Either way, though, it's pretty monumental for this character.
Kind of connecting very, very nice.
Especially since you can B reverse it, so you know how Rob, when they don't have gyro, they can just do. DK will be able to do that to an extent. He won't really be able to do it back and forth for the simple reason that the slaps kind of take a while. But still, another option. So that'll do a lot for this character.
Nicely. It seems like Willz is kind of a few of the
also, hey, Lord Mashiro, Finner, and Dranex, welcome to the stream, guys. We're all having a good day so far.
Yeah, and Vulcan, ooh, doing a good job.
Like, wait.
Yeah, and Vulcan, ooh.
That was barely charged at all.
Ooh.
This man died from the center of the stage.
Obviously, can just take out like even at the end.
Like, this is what I was talking about earlier when I said that the design philosophy of this character seems to be... The kills are going to be significantly more honest. Instead of grabbing your opponent at 60 and killing them, now you're going to have to like go for something a little riskier, but giant punch killing with not even that much charge. Whew. I'm starting to wonder what fully charged... Oh, Jesus. What would fully charged giant punch look like if that works like that? Good lord.
Which obviously can just take out Willz, like even at the end.
He was at like 60 before the hit. Let's
stage.
see,
Willz is kind of getting caught out by that.
No.
Towards the end.
Go back.
Oh, but keeping...
Go back.
Slightly.
Yeah, and Vulcan. Oh,
Wait.
he's doing a good job of keeping.
He only charged that for like a little less than half a second. That's not that much. But lo and behold, it just did that. I think that kind of stuff is probably almost necessary for the heavies to be good in this game. If you're going to take away the cheesy grab kills to where they're not necessarily super polarized characters anymore, then you have to give them something. And giving them higher risk but still rewarding to land moves like that, in addition to just making their movement and frame data better, seems like it'll make them very fun, interesting characters.
Even center stage, and his range obviously can just take out Willz, like even at the end, towards the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
I'm also just happy with any character that's not LOL grab, and that's about it.
Takes it to the air. Also, you notice that Willz is making use of the, I say new air dodge mechanics, but there are returning mechanics from Melee, where you have these directional air dodges that allows you to, really push where you
Big boy
want to
DK.
to.
Also,
have these directional air dodges that allows you to, really...
Look at how that uppy has a finishing hit now. That means that, a lot of those setups where people would use DK uppy as a combo breaker in the air to try and get out of stuff, but then basically accept that they're going to then take a lot of damage out of it, but they're okay with it because they at least got some damage in the process. They might be able to entirely remove the second step of that equation out of the picture for the simple reason that having a finishing hit means there might be a lot more situations where people will aggressively hit you with DK's up B now. So if that ends up being the case, then he'll have he'll have 3 different specials for breaking combos. Yeah, he's still going to be a big character, he's still going to eat stuff, but he's going to have options. A lot of them. I'm pretty sure that no other heavies have even close to the amount of options that he has out of landings now, and it's just because of those things that they added to that. Also, thank you, Belladonna Hype Train, for following the stream. Hope you're having a great day so far. Possibly Archer names. They certainly seem significantly more honest, but also good. So that sounds fantastic to me. Bring it on.
To air dodge too, and can maybe mix up how you juggle your opponents or get past their offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm all for characters with balanced risk-reward ratios.
Careful, yeah, very careful. So Vulcan off the stage, not making it
Rip.
back, unfortunately. So that is one stock.
It looks like for recovery, it might actually be that might actually be slightly worse than it was in Smash 4 for recovery.
Very careful,
You can tell that recoveries in this game are just nerfed across the board.
Not making it back, unfortunately. So that is one stock.
Yeah, that definitely looks nerfed.
Very close, surprisingly close.
Yeah,
Looks like pretty much all the recoveries in this game are worse, except for like Little Max. Little Mac might be the only character who actually got a better recovery that I can think of. Feel free to correct me if there's someone obvious that I'm missing. Yeah. How much was that before damage? 73. 73 fully charged DK punch. Yeah, that makes sense. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. The other question at this point is, does anyone know if a Giant Punch in Smash Ultimate has armor like it did to an extent in Smash 4? Because if it has some level of armor, then that would be quite interesting. Yeah, I hope... I really don't like Smash 4 Fox at all, the characters. absolute cancer, but
Be enough.
I hope they tone down his up tilt and tone down fair footstool.
Yeah, luckily for Willz at least.
Then maybe give him a more balanced neutral game in compensation, like give him bit, like you can make his lasers better. You could make forward smash and down smash stronger. You could give more uses to down tilt.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
And then in compensation do that.
I think maybe notice engine.
Okay, there we go.
Like speeds, kind of like found himself doing things a little bit too early or a little bit too late, and not actually throwing out the attack that he maybe would have in a different engine.
Yeah, not quite used to the new speed of Cloud, I guess. But we've got
and that Mewtwo dash dance.
Pick there from,
look at that.
Willz, which was somewhat expected.
Yeah. And Corrin coming out from Vulcan, who is one of his picks as well. Corrin obviously returning from Super Smash Bros. 4.
Also, can I note that Mewtwo looks insane? Mewtwo in this game looks absolutely insane right now. I mean, it remains to be seen how much he's going to change or not in the final build, and how other characters are going to change in a contextual sense relative to Mewtwo, but man. And Fenrir, yes, Ganon is faster. It's less the... Look at his increase in speed as not necessarily being something that is invalidated in a relative sense compared to other characters being faster now as well. Think of it as he has significantly more to gain, frame data wise, than any other character in the game. And now he finally has those things. In addition to that, he now has enough speed, at least, to where he can realistically and safely pressure people outside of their burst range and not necessarily just suffer for it or have to go for super hard reads. Thank you, Goostella, for following the stream. And Ganon, along with the reworked down B and his aerials being reasonable on shield, means that he has enough speed to where he can accomplish the things that are needed to make his moves work. Whereas in Smash 4, he simply didn't. It's not necessarily about comparing his speed to others, it's about recognizing the amount of speed he needs for his kit to actually work as intended, and he now has that. Sure, it's still fundamentally the same kit, and I think that will keep him from being anywhere close to top tier, but I could see Ganon being a very solid mid-tier character. He's still going to have his big weaknesses, and he still has a moveset that is fundamentally mostly the same as his Smash 4, where he was arguably the worst character, but his frame data being way better and him having enough speed to actually do what he wants is I think that's enough for him to become a decidedly more respectable character. Yeah, he has enough speed to do what he needs to. So sure, he's still going to be slower than everyone else, probably for the most part, but those moves are going to destroy shields. He's going to be able to pressure people. He's going to be able to actually do the things that he needs to do in order to not just be go for a hard read and hope I don't miss the character.
Wii U, because everyone's here, everyone's returning. There's the back air dodge, and Vulcan just kind of keeping himself safe. It's going to really, I think what I love about this is it's going to
also
really change up the way
bless the pin nerfs on Corrin's side B.
Melee style.
Yeah.
It's all about trying to catch your opponents and trying to because they can't just like air dodge all the way back home. And
that move being nerfed warms my soul.
Yeah. A lot more of like a ledge game.
Yeah.
Opposed to, you know, hope they...
Like, I'm okay with it being strong. I'm okay with it being good.
Yeah.
But it's kind of silly how safe it was. Man. That was like some of that Bermuda Triangle never to be seen again, DI.
That's going to be enough to confirm it. Wow, very, very nice strength coming out from Willz.
That honestly looks pretty similar to what it was in Smash 4.
Like they're significantly faster. I mean,
Yep. So they still have the up B edge cancel as well. I hope that in this game we end up getting more edge cancels and ledge cancel things in general. That would be great. Well, I wouldn't say that tilts are less spammable. It's more that a lot of the most egregious offenders of the idea have been touched up appropriately. Think of it as, I think in a lot of ways, mini tilts are going to become significantly stronger in the context of this game for the simple reason that you can run up and do them now. So them slightly nerfing short hop aerials and in compensation, making basically everything grounded better means that neutral has the potential to be significantly more varied than it was in Smash 4 for the simple reason that a lot of neutral in Smash 4 was basically just short hop aerials and grab. That was the vast majority of neutral with most characters, was just short hop aerials and grab. Whereas now there's short hop aerials. They've done things to incentivize full hop aerials with characters, with the damage nerfs not being applied to full hops. They've done that. They've made everyone's grounded options better. And they've also made the aerials safer in general. So even though there's the short hop damage nerf, I think it's a multiplier of 0.83 or something like that. They're basically just doing more to incentivize all these different ways of playing neutral that aren't necessarily derivative of spamming any one thing in particular. They also made grabs across the board like 5... They made them slower in general. Or not necessarily slower, but they made them have more end lag. Like, I think Link's startup animation for his grab is it's active on frame 6 now, but instead of having active frames starting on like frame 31 or something like that, now it's like frame 36, I want to say. Adding an extra 5 or 6 frames of end lag to pretty much everyone's grabs is going to do a lot to make it a lot harder to just fish for grabs and make them a lot safer. DK looks... I want to say DK is buffed, Dranex. I want to say he's buffed, even though they nerfed Ding Dong. Because basically everything else about him looks better.
5 minutes and we already, kind of lost the first stock as well.
Yeah.
We're used to a 2-stock kind of game.
Yeah, definitely from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, that we did have like a bit of a slower pace overall.
Also, thank you, Psycho Ed 90, for following the stream. Hope you're having a great night so far, or day so far, buddy. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you aboard as well, T36.
You can't kind of go through players. If you saw there, when Corrin used her pin to like the kick, she didn't go through the shield. She kind of like just landed in front, which means that defense is a lot stronger as an option. As you have to be a bit more careful with the way that you you go in onto the offense.
Also, did you guys see that thing to where I want to say there's at least one example of it in this game, in this series of videos. But in Smash 4, during the first like 7 to 8 frames of being in tumble, you could actually air dodge and then tech out of the air dodge. And you can do that in this game too, except it just looks decidedly more prominent for the simple reason that you can air dodge into the ground. So in disadvantage, if you're sent into tumble at lower percents, you could very realistically air dodge into the ground and then tech roll away or something like that. It's interesting.
Platforms appearing on Town and City.
In a lot of ways, we actually have more defensive options than we had in Smash 4, even though basically all of them are worse.
Oh, it doesn't quite get rid of him though.
I like that their idea of making defensive play interesting and satisfying is to just make defensive play, or rather defensive options in general, workable but not great, but then just give us a gazillion of them. This means that if any of you watch Dragon Ball FighterZ, that is a game that is... The engine is built to reward and facilitate aggressive gameplay as kind of being the standard. However, it has enough defensive options, and they're strong enough to where, in the hands of someone with really good defense, there will still be people that stand out for their defense, except they're going to stand out specifically for it rather than it just being an inherent byproduct of the system. Like, even in a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, probably the number 2 player in the world, Goichi, is mostly known for his incredible defense. And I imagine that there will be various players in this game that are also kind of infamous for the same reasons. Simply because this game does so much to facilitate aggressive play. At least it seems to. but if you're smart enough with your defensive decision making, you might be able to get out of quite a lot of stuff, but you're going to have to be super on point. Whereas in Smash 4, winning with a lot of defensive stuff was relatively easy for the most part. In this game, it looks like it's going to have to be it's going to have to require a lot of skill to effectively be consistently strong on defense. But it'll also be doable, which is how I think it should be.
Didn't get the turnaround punish, so that works both ways.
Yeah. So Vulcan doing super well with Curran.
Nice.
1-1 there. I feel like.
Also, welcome to the stream, Epic Midget, Immortal Luke.
Willz is with Mewtwo.
Hope both of you are having a good day so far.
A little bit more confidence in the way that
Good morning, guys.
Mewtwo does have this very kind of, for lack of a better word, like jankish movement. It's kind of like very jagged and kind of swings so fast.
Yeah. Then Curran known to be a little bit more fluid, a little bit more elegant on the stage.
Yeah. Have to be elegant when you're barefoot.
Yeah.
And then you can see on the top left when players go off the camera screen. That's enough.
Yeah, that's it.
That'll be confirmed, and that'll be the stock. One apiece.
That seems about right.
Yeah, the box on the top left is kind of like your camera into blast zone image. You can kind of see how far players are going when they get towards that blast zone. Very, very nice visual for either spectators or, if you're watching either from home or watching your friends play. A nice little kind of visual aid.
Yeah.
And I think those those spectator options have been really enhanced, for casual and competitive players alike.
Yeah.
Nice big visuals, obviously when a stock goes down for the big 3-2, all that kind of information is available, on screen.
Sorry, on blow up on the.
Having a look at.
Yeah.
Then.
I'm a
LA player. Clarity.
I'm trying to skip ahead. There we go. There we go. That's what we're here for.
Quicker in a sense, but at the same time, I feel like this one's a lot more stronger. Like he's got stronger moves to kind of work with.
I'm sorry, Soul, not this time.
Very fluid.
Alas.
I kind of like that a lot.
So we're getting into our third game. Then it's one apiece.
Either way, welcome to the stream, John. Hope you're having a good day so far. There's so much juicy stuff that we've already gone over in this stream, and so much more to come as well.
So Pit is a character I've seen less of from.
Oh man, I love the defensive mechanics in this game. I like that even though our options are so much worse in general defensively, we actually have more of them now. So if your defense is super on point, you'll still be able to make it work, but it's going to require quite a lot of skill rather than simply being a byproduct of the system. Which is how it should be.
Just because,
good defense is going to look beautiful in this game. Especially with parry. Love that mechanic. Or perfect shielding, excuse me. Realistically though, it's basically a third strike parry.
Using that air dodge downwards to get back onto stage.
Yeah, very surprised actually.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Air dodge downwards to get back onto stage.
Yeah, very surprised.
Wait, okay. That looks like that has basically no ending lag now. That's
in this invitation where the people
interesting.
Kind of style on each other and feel themselves with a Ridley.
So Bowser can just do that now. That's cool, I guess.
Currently not, but we might see it. You never know. We have got 2 exhibition matches as well to happen. So who knows what's going to happen throughout the day. There's the down air.
Yep, that'll just.
Vulcan didn't see.
Does that not have a disjoint anymore? Or did? I think the spike from Bowser's shell might have outranged it. It's hard to say though. Yeah, same. Crazy Kami, lazy density. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope all of you are having a good day so far. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the spikes on Bowser's shell just. They might have outranged the up smash, or since it's a multi-hit, he might have squeezed in between like one of the frames where, like, when Pit is swinging his little things up, it doesn't necessarily look like it's a constant hitbox. It looks more like, say, Link's up smash, where it's just hitbox, 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 and not necessarily just a constant wall of them, which is how Bowser is able to slip through. That makes sense.
There we go. Yeah, he pummels him just for the extra 2% just to make sure.
Yeah.
That seems kind of annoying from a player standpoint, though.
Maybe the forward air might have been a better option. Going for it again.
Yeah.
I've also heard rumors that there's actually a Smash Pro that is actually helping with development of this game.
Is that true? We'll find out. No, there again. There's that directional air just.
I'm not gonna say who I got this rumor from, but I think there's a good chance that it's the case, and I trust them. Thank you, CW Danner, for following the stream, by the way. That would help to explain why a lot of things in the competitive community seem to be so perfectly addressed in this game. Having the assistance of a pro would definitely help.
The percentage coming back in the favor of Vulcan. It's only 3.5%. The 0.5 is a brand new thing.
I'm not going to say any more than that, but
Smash titles, but it hasn't been visible.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice connecting with that.
Supposedly,
it has been in previous.
There is someone.
Smash titles, but it hasn't been visible.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice connecting with that.
Yep, seems good.
Very top part of the map. And that
Man, Bowser's movement. Just look at him running around.
Connecting with that up air from a very top.
That's Bowser, guys.
And that will be a confirm of KO.
Yeah. I think the death
Characters actually having good movement.
Have a nice touch to the game.
That was a max range connection from that forward smash, and that will be another stock. One apiece again. Gets that jab into up smash. Perfect shield.
Ooh.
So the perfect shield does.
Double. All right, so
perfect shield twice.
Wait, so I'm trying to understand how that happened, because the way it works is all right, so you have to drop the thing or not, you have to drop shield in order to activate parry. So wouldn't that mean that, well, maybe it just automatically will continue to parry hits after the initial one if you let go? No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know, Lazy. I'm so excited. But maybe after parry he put up shield again, only to drop it again? I don't know, that seems too... I don't think there's enough frames for that to happen. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but that's interesting. And it might be there, Lazy, hopefully. Either way, hey, Nick Lyons fan. Hope you're having a good day so far. Welcome to the stream at Happiness TM as well. Hope both of you are having a good day so far. Yeah, it might have been a buff for Happiness. That makes the most sense at a glance.
So the perfect shield does have a new mechanic where it's not about holding shield at the right moment. It's about releasing shield at the perfect moment.
Yeah.
You kind of have this almost parry system. It kind of reminds me of Street Fighter 3. Third strike.
Yep, third strike.
One of those ones. Apologies for not knowing. James Bowden in my ear will tell me and be like, how dare you get it wrong.
I think it's third strike.
Third strike.
I think
it is third strike.
There we go.
Thank you. So yeah, having to kind of just get that release.
I just like that characters can move.
Yeah, Will's doing a really good job of...
Your character doesn't have to be fast to have respectable movement options.
Well,
Vulcan's really high up. This is very, very scary for him. He needs to get down to the stage, to the up air. That's it.
Yeah, that's... Stuff like that seems like that's going to be relatively common in this game, since, as is, the defensive mechanics are nerfed across the board, so you're going to be able to frame trap people extremely well in general. And the fact that they nerfed his, or not his, but the fact that they nerfed ledge trapping in general means that people are going to have less incentive to ledge trap and more incentive to actually go off stage. This combined with the smaller magnet hands and characters having better frame data in general means that you're probably going to see significantly more offstage shenanigans in this game. Also, since they nerfed recoveries, that's another reason why that would happen more.